What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 18 of the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. On this episode, we are breaking down Hellboy, Web of Wyrd, Awakener Forgotten Oath, Robocop Rogue City, Hauntii, and Good Burger 2.
Let's go. If you ain't gonna ride fly, then you might as well hate. It ain't my birthday, but I got my name on that cake.
Shoot. I don't know. I was gonna say Nelly because you said ride, and I was like, oh, ride with you. You know what I'm talking about?
One of these times I'm gonna do ride with me, just so you got it.
Because that's the second time I thought that.
I'll throw you a bone. He is a lil. He's a lil guy.
It's not Lil Baby.
No.
Lil Wayne.
Let's go. I'm counting that.
Okay.
We're counting that.
No, we're not counting.
We are counting that. We are counting that. We are 4 for 18. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Okay. 4. I don't count it. I said Nelly first. That doesn't count. 3 for 18 still.
We're cutting that out. He got it. 4 for 18. But what is up, man?
We'll see.
How was your week? How's everything going? How's life?
Well, it's the start of the week as it is Monday at the time of the recording of this, but it's going pretty good. Let's see. What did I do? I went mountain biking again. Nobody fell this weekend, so that's really good. The weather finally has decreased in temperature, and we're getting back to being able to go outside without dying. So,
I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun. Up here in New York, we are getting to the time where I'm going to hibernate for the next 6 months because it will be 40 below zero and with 17 feet of snow on the ground. So
no
just
thanks.
Enjoying the last little bits of summer here. So,
as you should. But so here where I'm at now in Missouri, there is my friend had told me that it snowed a total of 2 times last year.
seriously?
2 times, and the
Really?
lowest that typically got for them was like 40 degrees, and so I'm banking on that this year because I hate the cold, and that's why I kind of like to move down south. But
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I need to leave.
all right,
Okay.
all right. What
Okay.
games are you playing? What games you've been playing?
So as you guys know, we talked about this game a little bit, but Armored Core has officially dropped. It has officially reached my doorstep and been inserted into the PlayStation 5. The review of that game will be coming very, very soon, but just a little spoiler teaser alert.
Yeah.
I freaking love it.
There we go, Dave.
So-
Dave is not bashing a game. Listen
It
to
is
this.
so good. It is so good. Okay, and I will say a little, kind of like I want to pat ourselves on the back a little bit because I think if you guys haven't checked it out, check out the Armored Core review that we did where we said it's not going to
The
be
preview, yeah.
Yeah, the preview. We said it's not going to be a Souls game. It is from Software, which would lead you to believe it's a Souls-like. It does have From Software Souls-like elements to it, but is not a Souls-like at all. It is a return to the mech shooter franchise that everybody loved, and I'm digging it. I'm digging it. You might actually really dig it, dude. Because
So I watched a review on it, and I was like, okay, as soon as it goes on sale, I'll give it a shot. So yeah,
Yep.
it did win me over a little bit,
Yep.
but it's going to have to wait till it goes on sale because I have a list of games that I'm getting ready to buy and play. One of them, I was going to get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game,
Yes.
and I was very disappointed at the reviews I saw of this game. So I was like, ooh, not getting it.
I got a text from a couple of my friends like, yo, Texas Chainsaw Massacre released tonight. We're doing a midnight kind of thing and hanging out. And I was like, oh, dang, dudes. Like, sorry, I can't make it tonight. And literally, I got a follow-up text at like 1:15, literally no more than an hour later, just saying like, this game is horrific. Don't even bother. And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh. Oh, dang.
So that was why I decided not to do it as well. But as soon as I see that it's on sale, sure, like a $5 game, might as well give it a shot. And these games, they launch and sometimes they redeem themselves with patches and then updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But coming out this week, if you are early access, you pre-ordered the right edition, Starfield. Whoo!
I'm nervous for him, dude.
Yeah, I'm nervous too.
I'm nervous for him.
But that is one I am getting because space exploration, shooting things, building ships, building outposts, all that stuff is super exciting to me. Although it's single player and I'm a multiplayer person, but I am going to play this game nonstop for a while. And I don't think I'm going to be able to review it because depending on how they said this game is massive. And so I think what I'm going to do is just throw a non-commentary playthrough of me playing for the first like 6 hours.
That might not be a bad idea, yeah. Or maybe I don't know, guys. Like Adam said, it's a crazy, crazy, crazy long game. So maybe we just do kind of like our initial look at Starfield and like maybe some first thoughts. But for a full review, that's gonna take quite a long time.
Right. And I might feel like I won't be able to give it justice if I decide like, oh, I played for 10 hours. Let's just review it. I think it's going to be like days of playing the game to really get an understanding of what it's supposed to be. Or I could be completely wrong and it could suck from the beginning and not be worth playing for that long. So
I mean, you know how the review community is. It's like 2 days after release, somebody's gonna be like, "I beat it and found every secret. Here's the video."
Yeah. Well, they don't have jobs aside from playing video games nonstop, whereas I have to go to work, wake up at 5 a.m., play with my son, and so when my reviews come out, they are because I did like play the game a significant amount. But just know I've been playing from 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. that day, and then the next day I play for a few more hours, and that's when I really start piecing together my reviews. So just know I don't do that for a living, so they are as much time as I can put in them.
We do the best we can, guys. We love you guys very, very much, so we do the best we can. With that being said, I do think we do need to touch just a little bit. I want to throw out an apology to you guys. We did have the live that was supposed to go down.
Yes.
On Tuesday, and we were not able to get that out. So we're really, really sorry there, but we are definitely going to get that live out next week. So that we will update you all with the time and everything. It's going to be, and honestly, I think this works out a little bit better because we're doing a Madden 1v1, me versus Adam, Bills versus Chargers, and I think that it's going to give us plenty of time to get a little bit closer to the season, let the rosters update, so that way when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams stub their foot getting off the bus and then they're out for 8 weeks, the victory is much easier for me.
All right, I'm out of this podcast for the rest of the year. We're gonna taking applications for Dave's new co-host. So no, but he's kind of true with kind of. Hit the nail on the head with saying Mike Williams and Keenan Allen will probably be out, but whatever. We are excited for that. Yeah, we apologize that we were not able to do it Tuesday. Work gets ahead of you. It sucks. So, real life comes first sometimes, but we are super excited for this live. So be on the lookout for that next week. We will keep you guys updated on that time on social media. So make sure to keep an eye out on there.
Go Bills.
Go Chargers. But with that said, let's kick it off with our first topic, Hellboy Wyrd. Wait, is it Wyrd? Nope. Web. Hellboy Wyrd Web. Hellboy Web of Wyrd.
Hellboy Wordle. Confusing. Guys, Hellboy put out a Wordle game. This is a mobile Wordle, and it's only Hellboy words. Yeah, that's a great game.
That's so funny. So funny.
Great game.
All right, let's hear what I want you to start, Dave. What are your initial thoughts?
Okay. Initial thoughts. Let's start a little bit on who Hellboy is, because I don't know if a lot of people know who Hellboy is. A lot of people have seen the movies, most likely. Maybe know a little bit about the comics, but essentially the story of Hellboy is he is a half demon that was summoned to Earth by occultists. So they're back in the day, the occultists were kind of doing some rituals. They summoned this, thing, blah, 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 that whole story. But what they ended up getting was Hellboy. And Hellboy came to the Earth as a young infant, and he kind of grew into not actually a terrible guy, the perfect anti-hero, right? So he is he's essentially a demon, which gives him that kind of evil side to him. But the way that he was brought up kind of good, so he ends up actually kind of being a little bit of a hero, and he works for the U.S. Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. In the comics, it's the BPRD. And he's basically the guy that fights the dark forces that end up like challenging the human race. So like witches and things that have been summoned from down below. Hellboy is our guy. He's the one that protects us from all that stuff. Little bit about the backstory. His first appearance was on the San Diego Comic-Con comic number 2.
Oh, really?
Which I actually didn't know that. That's his first actual appearance, but the one that most people know is the Next Men 21, which is it's a really cool book. I actually have that book, first appearance of Hellboy, so that's where he came from. And the thing to know is that the writer Mike Mignola, he's the artist and the writer of the comic book, is on board with this game, which speaks glowingly for what we're about to see. And I think we can kind of roll into the trailer now, because
let's do it.
I think now that you guys know a little bit about how who Hellboy is, and I think it's gonna make you a little bit more excited for this. But I personally, just off the bat, am super excited.
Same. I was kind of taken back when I first watched this trailer, when we were looking for games to look for. And just like right off the bat, so you get this kind of like aesthetic of a comic book as you're playing the game. And I think it is very cool. And from the interview I watched of Mike describing the game, it's like they brought his art style to life with animation in a video game. And he is very excited about it. And it just looks really cool. The animations are cool. Just the art style is very cool. And yeah.
Yeah, I think so I think, guys, if you're just listening on the Spotify, what we're seeing right now is probably the most accurate representation of a comic book being transformed into a game that I've probably ever seen. We talk about this a lot with the like the Miles Morales Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse movies and stuff like that. They really found a great art style to transition the comic book medium into a different medium. And I don't think I've ever seen a game do such a great job of transporting that comic book feel into a different medium. I mean, they did an absolutely amazing job. And again,
keeping it authentic to Mike Mignola's like true art style and what he wanted in terms of like comics. Like it feels like his comic in video game form, and I think that's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys, are just listening on the Spotify again, I think to really get an understanding, you might want to hop over to the YouTube, or like after the episode or something, just hop over to YouTube and just check out the Hellboy trailer, because it is actually amazing. Like it's literally amazing. And as a fan of the comic books, like I said, I have the first appearance of Hellboy. Like I have a couple key issues from the series, and just thumbing through those issues, I'm like, oh my God, like they nailed his art style. They literally nailed it. And he's reviewed the entire game, and he's put his stamp of approval on it. And if you know anything about Mike Mignola, I don't want to say that he's like not super nice and genuine and stuff like that, because he is. He seems, I've actually met him. He's been to a couple Comic-Cons, and I've actually met him before. And he's like, he's not mean, but he's very protective. He usually doesn't like when people try to like replicate his things, or like try to take his ideas and make them hit their own and stuff like that. And he just had glowing things to say about this game, which was super exciting for me.
Yeah, and to kind of go off that a little bit and going into like the characters of the game. And so what Mike Mignola wanted to make sure to say is like, a lot of these characters are brand new and not so much in the comics, but they are very in line with how the villains and the creatures would be with the comics. So he had very high praise to say that even though they're not in the comics, like he's not upset about it. He really actually rathers that instead of trying to connect through multiverses and stuff like that. He's like, it's its own thing. Like, don't worry about trying to connect the dots with the comic and this game. So I think that's pretty cool too.
I think we might have watched the same interview, but I think one of the key takeaways that he kind of said that really resonated with me is, like he was asked, like, is this a direct adaptation of the comic book? And he said, no, it's not a direct adaptation of the comic book. But it's all about how you as a fan want to think about it, right? So if you want to think about it as part of the Hellboy timeline, it does fit in the Hellboy timeline in a certain spot. And if you want to think of it as a standalone, like different universe kind of thing, like you can also think of it that way. So I mean, me as a purist, I would love for them to take a comic book story and roll with it. But if they're not going to follow the story to a T, I think this is probably the next best thing, because
Yeah.
you literally have the creator, writer, artist on board saying like it's not part of the comic book, but it could be. We made sure that this was something that would fit into the timeline of Hellboy if that's what you wanted. So
Right.
again, I'm a purist. Would I love to see like the birth of Hellboy and then like go through the whole like first like season 1 of the comic book? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would love that. But
Right.
if they're not going to do it, at least they didn't like go so far out in left field where you're like, this makes no freaking sense. Like this,
Right. Right. I mean, it's holding true to like you said, he's a part of that organization and stuff like that. So a little bit with the story is essentially he's called to save an agent, and they send him in there, and he's trying to figure out what type of paranormal activity is going on and why things are the way they are. And so that's kind of the main premise of it. And the game is a roguelike brawler, which I think is pretty cool. And so he'll have the ability to upgrade his abilities, have tons of customizations within those abilities and weapons you can use. And the cool thing that during the interview that I really liked is like each level, yes, it will have that roguelike, but in the beginning, it's not so much worried about being the strongest you can, but more so focused on the discovery of the maps that you go into. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And with each run, it's not supposed to feel the same as there's procedurally generated levels, and I think that's really cool. So like it's going to feel different every time you go in there, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the exploration junkie of wanting to like, I need to see every corner of the game. Like I will literally like, you know how I play games. You've seen me play games long enough where you're like,
true.
I'm constantly the dude that's like, I feel like they want me to go this way to continue the story, so I definitely need to go this way first so I don't miss anything. You know, like I'm that guy. So I think,
and I'm the way that's the right turn, going for it, beeline. So that's me.
I think if you're an exploration junkie, a collectible junkie like me, this is going to be a really, really, really great game for you, because like you know, like you said, they did the procedurally updated level, so it did the level kind of aesthetics change based on things that you do. And also, I believe if I've kind of read this right, the actual level design kind of changes a little bit. So like that, the level the levels on consecutive runs will not be the same. So if you explored a corridor to the left on run 1, that corridor might not even be there on run 2.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's very, very, very cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And a little bit going into the gameplay mechanics, this is just what I've taken from some of the interviews, but also just watching the trailers and watching gameplay. So the health will have 2 parts. So the health is you'll have your toughness, which is like a couple bars. I'm sure you'll be able to upgrade to more bars. And what the toughness does is you absorb the damage before your health takes a hit.
Yep.
And that will regenerate, I'm guessing, as you collect or kill enemies. And then the health, so after your toughness is broken, that's when the health gets attacked. And once your toughness regenerates, your health does not. So I thought that was pretty cool. And your enemies will have very similar health elements as well. So I think that's pretty cool. It's definitely like, I can't think of a game that does that. Have you played any games that do that?
I haven't, but I think it's a very good way to do the health system here, because this is kind of like a Wolverine situation, right? It's Hellboy. He can't quote unquote die. You know what I mean? Like if he dies, he just goes to hell and he can be resummoned. You know, because he's a demon. You know what I mean? So there is no like final death in this game, which I think this kind of regenerative roguelike kind of thing is probably the best way to do a situation where your character really can't die.
Right. And kind of going into it a little bit more, the way they described it is like you're a tank fighting bigger tanks, essentially. So you're supposed to feel tanky as you are taking down enemies. And within each run, you'll have what is called blessings, which enhances your combat as you proceed through the run. And I think that's pretty cool. I know it's like kind of like a staple for these like roguelike games, but I thought that was pretty neat. And I'm super excited about this game.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things about these, these upgrades and stuff like that is like you have upgraded abilities and upgraded weapons and upgraded power and all that stuff like that. Most of this stuff you are going to keep for consecutive runs, and
Right.
I kind of really love that. I know some of the more challenging roguelikes are like, it's literally like die and start over.
Yeah.
Where you lose everything that you've kind of done, all of your upgrades and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get it. I like playing hard games, but also it does kind of suck. Like you grind it and you found something sweet and you have this ability that you really like that like makes the gameplay mechanics better and more enjoyable for you, and then you die and you've lost that, and you're just like, oh dude, that kind of sucks. And then you're just trying to get it back and stuff like that. So I think it's cool that you're going to be able to hold on to these abilities.
Right. And I think it also helps you. So like kind of going off that, it's like these roguelikes, some of them like they don't cater other play styles. You know what I mean? It's like almost so where like you have to play a specific way. Whereas I think with this Hellboy, it's like you'll be able to, because it looks like there's a little bit of a range aspect, because there's like you can use the weapon or grenade launcher and things like that. So I think you'll have different elements of like specific ways of your like gameplay style, and I think that's pretty cool too. So
yeah, I do think that's going to work great, because we've seen not so much in the trailer, but if you've seen kind of like some of the extended gameplay stuff, or if you've seen like the interview with Mike and stuff like that, there's a lot of combat stuff going on. I mean, we've seen, Hellboy has guns, so we've seen, kind of shooter mechanics. It's also a brawler, so we've seen up close and personal combat, punching melee. I mean, like you said, we've seen long range weapons with the grenade launcher. I think I even saw one thing where he had like a sword. So I mean, like there's like multiple fight styles here, which I think is pretty cool. And if you really look at the mechanics of the game, it almost looks like that Arkham. Maybe an Arkham style. It kind of looks like that type of like beat 'em up brawler. Not so much just like a hack and slash brawler, but a very like build the combo up kind of. And I love that stuff.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask, what do you think about the camera angle? Because I know that's not your typical favorite type of camera angle.
It's not my favorite camera angle, and unfortunately, I think that this is going to kind of be the new standard, and I need to just probably get used to it. Which is less than desirable for me. But like I said, if I'm really interested in a game, I will deal with it just fine. I smashed Hogwarts. I loved Hogwarts. It was a great game, and they had that same camera angle. And I think like the more and more that we get used to it, like I'm just kind of okay with it.
Yeah, and I think the way with this game, I think it does. So it's not a huge game. You know what I mean? It's not open world. It's not making everything feel massive. But the way the camera angles are kind of set, that kind of far away, makes him feel big, but also the enemies that he's fighting very big. Yeah. And I think that helps a lot with this specific camera angle. Yeah. And I think it's pretty cool. I'm really excited about this one. And it says it's coming soon. I don't know how soon that is. I hope very soon. Let me do a quick little Google search.
Yeah, I think it's coming very soon. And then once again, just to touch on the camera side of things. Again, if you guys look at the gameplay, if you look at like the trailer or anything like that, you can see that Mike's style is I don't want to say it's flat. It's intentionally not very deep.
I know. He described of what like the writer and he both described why they did it, and it made sense. It said it just wasn't in line with his art style. So it's almost like I don't want to say negative. What is it like? I know what you're saying. It's lacking like depth.
It's lacking. You know what I mean? It's lacking depth, but it's purposely lacking depth. You know what I mean? Like
it's not because they couldn't do it.
No, his art style is very much like a Sin City. Like if you look at like Frank Miller's Sin City or anything like that, where it's kind of this like gritty. It's like a very gritty kind of.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, you almost want it to feel like a patchwork. You know what I mean? Yeah, like this was made in like, or if you look at like Kevin Eastman's like early TMNT stuff, it just has that like gritty. This was like done in a dark, dirty basement kind of feel, and you're just like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. But I think that the lack of depth there kind of helps with the camera angle. So like when I was dealing with that camera angle for Hogwarts, the depth in that game was just insane. I mean, you could look out for what felt like miles and see things, and it was just like a lot to process. And I feel like this game is not going to throw a ton of that at you.
I agree. And so the art style he has is called Chiaroscuro. I probably butchered that, but it's like Chiaroscuro, which is like just bold lines, just like how he described. But that's the name of it. I probably butchered it, but I'm super excited about this game, and it comes out October 4th.
Let's go. So, yeah, it's super exciting. Coming out very, very soon. The art style is amazing. The storyline is amazing. The combat looks amazing. And just a real quick, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Lance Reddick is the voice of Hellboy. If you guys don't know who Lance Reddick is, he's an actor. The most recent things you probably know him from is the John Wick franchise, but I've always really liked him as an actor. I always thought, especially for his voice acting, because he did a lot of voice acting for stuff like that. I just always felt like he brought like such an amazing personality to all the characters that he was able to do. And unfortunately, he did pass away in March. So this is his last role that he was able to do, was to be the voice of Hellboy. So if you want to check it out, unfortunately, it's Lance's last work, but I can only imagine it's going to be amazing, just like everything else that he did. So
yep. With that said, anti-hero draft or blind ranking.
Anti-hero blind ranking, ladies and gentlemen. As Hellboy is one of the coolest anti-heroes out there, we wanted to do a little bit of a deeper dive into the anti-hero franchise, and just kind of pull out some bangers. So we are going to do a blind rank. Adam, I'm flipping the coin because we haven't done it in so long.
Let's do it.
That was a good one.
Two-Face. That was.
Of course, it's Two-Face.
You added the weight back. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to quiz you first.
You're quizzing me first? All right. Let's do it.
Quizzing you first.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Dave, your first choice of the anti-hero blind ranking is Venom.
Ooh, you gave me bangers, huh? Okay, I'm gonna go with a 3. I'm going with a 3.
Okay.
You know I love me some Venom. You know I love Eddie Brock.
I know you love Venom.
Yeah, I love me some Venom. I'm gonna put him in the 3 hole.
Okay, your second choice is Lucifer.
Okay, listen. The South Park draft, I ended up with Satan as my number 1, so I need to redeem myself, and I'm putting Lucifer as a 5. Boo.
Whoa.
Yeah, 5. Lucifer, 5. Boo.
Okay. All right. Your third choice is Spawn.
You know the worst part of that though is I love the Spawn comic books, but I love the clown so much more. He's such a better character.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know if I get. All right, Spawn. I'm gonna put it a 4.
Okay. Blade.
Okay, I'm excited. I put Spawn at a 4. Oh, did you give me something better than Blade though? Blade's at a 2. I freaking love Blade, but I just feel like you maybe gave me a better one.
I don't know if I did. Your next and your final choice as your number 1 is Punisher.
Punisher?
Yeah.
You dogged me. Frank Castle, bro.
Frank Castle. Castle.
Okay, I'm actually okay with my list, but I would flip flop. I would flip flop Blade and Frank Castle, but I'm okay with the list. Other than that, it's not bad. Cool. All right, you are up, and I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, we actually do 10. We do 10 of these to make sure that we don't double up, and I want you to know that the Punisher, Blade, Spawn, and Venom were all on my list. So
not anymore. They're not
anymore. Okay, we're gonna start it off with one that you may not like, but we'll see. We're gonna go with some Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Red
Okay, so I
Hood.
don't know a crap ton about him or a bunch about him, but I thought he was kind of cool in the Arkham video game. Not Knight, not Arkham Knights.
No.
Is it? What was the last one?
Oh,
Arkham.
Gotham Knights.
Yeah, oh yeah, I did not like him in Gotham Knights,
Yeah,
but
no.
it was Arkham Knight. That was the last one that he was in, and he was one of the enemies, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't playable. He was an NPC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I will put him at a 3. Kind of slap him in the middle. I think that's a safe bet.
That's not a
He's
bad.
cool.
Yeah, that's not a
Yeah.
bad. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
not-
hoping that you give me 2 above and 2 below.
I gave you bangers. I'll
Okay,
I'll
alright.
let you know that. I gave you bangers.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Your next choice is going to be the one and only Ghost Rider.
Oh, he's so cool.
Right.
Is he my favorite though? I'm hoping you give me one of my favorites, so I'm putting him at 2.
Put him at 2. Okay. Ghost
Yeah, I'll
Rider's
put him at
at
2. He's so cool, but I'm hoping you give me one of my favorites.
I want to throw it out there. Usually I dog at him on these lists and I give him all terrible things.
Yeah.
This time around, I wanted to make it hard because I gave him bangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3, we are going with the one and only Deathstroke.
I can't put him at 4. I can't put him at 1 either. If I could, I'd put him at probably like a 2 or a 3, but I'm gonna put Deathstroke at 4.
Put
unfortunately.
Deathstroke at 4.
I hate to do it, but I have to put him at 4.
Okay. All right.
Now
Now you need.
I have some good options.
I mean, what do you got left?
I have a 1 and a 5.
You're not gonna be happy. Okay.
Shoot.
Your next one is going to be the one and only snickety snipe Wolverine.
I think I know where this is going, but I have to put him at 1 because he's super cool and one of my favorite X-Men.
You gotta put it at 1.
Yeah,
right?
I gotta put
You gotta-
Wolverine at number 1. So
gotta
I'm
put him
guessing
at 1.
I think I know who's number 5.
Go ahead
and
and guess your number 5.
Is it Deadpool?
It is Deadpool. Let's go.
I hate you. He's my favorite, but I can't I didn't want to put Wolverine so low.
He's your
If I could change it, I'd put Red Hood at 5.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine, move everything down 1, except
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay as long as Wolverine's not at the 5. But it's kind of sad that Deadpool's at 5.
Yeah, I would go Wolverine, Deadpool. I would put Red Hood at 3 because I'm just
okay.
I'm just the hugest
Yeah.
Batman junkie, and then Ghost Rider and Deathstroke. So
Oh, but that Ghost Rider's so cool.
they're all. See, I
agree.
I went 2 banger on the list this
Two
time.
banger, yeah.
So,
I had one that I was like, oh, if I put this on there and it's the last one, he's gonna want it so bad. I had Catwoman. I was like, oh,
there's
Dave
no
was
way. There's no way you had Catwoman too. I don't know if you guys can see that.
That's so funny.
Catwoman.
Wow,
right
do we have
there.
the same exact list?
I think we
might
have the exact same list.
Oh, I didn't have Deathstroke.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
well, moving on to our next roguelike fantasy RPG, The Awakener Forgotten Oath.
Kind of a roguelike. Weird roguelike.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird
They
roguelike.
described it as a roguelike, but
They described
go ahead,
it.
Dave. I'll let you take this one too. This is kind of a little bit more your style of game and stuff, but go for it.
They described it as a highly flexible roguelike.
Yeah.
I don't
That was
know.
weird.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Should we just pull up the trailer
Yeah,
and we can
let's
kind of ponder on it as we watch?
Let's pull up the trailer, guys. Hey,
Okay.
guys, go
We're
ahead.
pondering.
Go ahead and drop down in the comments if you have any idea what a highly flexible roguelike means.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, looking at the trailer, guys, if you're just listening on the Spotify, this looks like a game that I would absolutely love.
Yeah.
It does have some Souls-like elements, definitely some Souls-like mechanics. As you can see, he's just dodging for his life here.
Yeah. That is the definition of a Souls-like. Dodge and weave. Dodge, hit, run.
Dodge, hit, run. Dodge, hit, run.
Yep.
Dodge, hit, run. We're seeing some very.
Wow, I thought you were going to be super excited about this game.
Okay.
It plays a lot faster. It's got some really cool combos. It's almost kind of got the combos of Atlas Fallen. You know what I mean? Like you can move fast, hit hard. And it looks like, I mean, it's got those roguelike elements, but I don't know.
It does, and guys, let me know if I'm wrong. And Adam, obviously, we're gonna need your take on this, and let us know down in the comments if you're watching this or you've seen this trailer. Does this feel not complete? This feels choppy to me.
I feel like a little bit. I can see what you're saying. I feel like it's lacking the substance of what it could be. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. I know exactly what you're. I think I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
and it's hard to explain and put it in words.
So like, I mean, we're seeing like right now, even in the trailer, if you're a Souls player or any type of like fast-paced RPG player, you know a lot about hitboxes and stuff like that, which essentially a hitbox is how you trigger a hit on an enemy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It looks like the hitboxes are off even on the trailer. Like, it looks like these enemies are taking damage, and the character has just like smashed his shield down into nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I want to be excited about this game, but I feel like it's a game that maybe just isn't complete. It like really they maybe need to do like some run throughs and just tighten some stuff up.
Yeah, and I think that's I don't know when the date is on this one either, but it says it's coming to Steam wishlist now. I wonder if it's not quite. It's going to be a while. I wonder if this game is going to be a while. Maybe they're just showing it off to get people ready for it, to see what's kind of going on.
Yeah.
Because this was an announcement trailer during the Gamescom, and I think those kind of things can be fixed. I agree that is something that should be fixed by the early. It should be fixed. If it's not, then they are wasting time, and they are wasting time essentially, and nobody's going to play this game if things like that aren't fixed.
Yeah, and it feels like it needs to tighten up, because I feel like they put out there, from the research that I did, they said that the PC launch is available 2023, which means they have they have 3 months to get this game out and ready, and I just don't know if it's enough time. I don't know if it's enough time to. I mean, if you're putting out like a trailer, right? You would think that you would make sure that you have at least a minute and a half of solid, like, functional,
great gameplay,
right? And it's like they don't even have a minute and a half of solid gameplay to make a trailer, and this thing is supposed to be coming out in 3 months. Like, I don't know. It makes me nervous.
Come on.
It does.
Pick it up, guys. Come on.
I know, right? So I think this is going to be, I couldn't find this anywhere. So if you guys don't know about the Awakener series, this is actually a series. So the Awakener Ryzen, this is, I'm trying to figure out if this is a follow-up or like a prequel or has anything to do with Awakener Ryzen, and I couldn't find anything of whether it's related or not like that. So I'm not even sure if this is a follow-up or if this is a brand new game. But basically, did you find anything?
No, I did not.
No, yeah. So I couldn't find anything. I've actually even found like subreddits that are just like people asking that question. Like, is this a prequel? Is this like a sequel? Like, does this have any relation? And like, nobody really knows. So
right.
I would love to give you guys some updates and say like, yeah, it's it's a sequel to Ryzen, or it's it's not related at all. I have no idea. But I do know that the story of the Awakeners itself is a little bit weird, and I hate to kind of crap on the parade again, but I love Dark. You guys know that I love Souls lore and stuff like that, and I think the Souls lore is great. The storyline behind it is just impeccably amazing. And this lore is a little bit lacking. So like this game is a war between humans and demons, which fine. Okay, that's fine. I'm
that's
great.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm great. I'm great with that concept. And the way that this has kind of worked is that the gods of the land, kind of the way that they describe it is they curtain off sections of the environment that are in a disaster setting. Yeah. I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's a demon's been summoned or something like that, and there's a war going on. So they section off, the gods curtain off this section of the land, and essentially what they do is they pull it into a dimension called the nothingness.
Yep.
Which, I mean, it's a second dimension where you just suck all the bad stuff into, I guess, is as far as I could go. And
Makes
then
sense to me.
yeah, right. Like, and then okay. So then the gods summon awakeners, which you are. You are an awakener, and the job of the awakener is to travel to the nothingness and eliminate the demons from these disaster areas, so that they can pull this section of the world back into the correct dimension. Right. Does that make any sense to you?
No. I'm not sure about this game. So I was trying to do the best as I could with this research, and I was like, okay, I'm lost of what's going on, and I know Dave will probably be able to handle this a little bit better than I can, and so I was trying my best. I'm gonna completely admit I had 3 lines, and these are my 3 lines of notes of this game.
Go ahead.
Roguelike fantasy RPG is my first line.
Yep.
Made with Unreal Engine 5 is my second line.
Nice.
Third line I have coming soon.
I mean,
that's all I had. I couldn't like the gameplay mechanics, they look kind of cool, but I was like, I don't know what this game is going to be. I know it's supposed to be a roguelike, and that's about as far as I got. I tried watching the trailer like 4 times, and there's not very much like interview on it yet or anything like that, so nobody's really talking about it yet. But it, like I said, it was an announcement trailer, so more is to come, but we just want to kind of put it out there. But if it's coming in 2023, like, that's like now. We should know a lot more about what this game is, and
we should know a lot more about this game. We really, really should. And they did say that a PC launch is 2023, which essentially gives them 3 more months. And I would not be surprised if we see this game delayed.
And I can agree with that, especially because there's so many questions on what this game is. It's like, and then with September, huge games coming out, Starfield, a couple other big games, Mortal Kombat, all those. October hits.
October is a beast.
You cannot put any game like this in October. If you do, you're just waiting for this game to die. There's no way. There's no way. Even with like Hellboy's going in October, it's like, are you sure you want to do that, Hellboy? Are you sure? Like, you picked the least busy of the month, but just beware. Just beware what's coming.
Yeah.
And you have Spider-Man. You have Mario Wonder. You have a bunch of games coming in October, and it's just like
right. And
so honestly, the month that is probably the best month to release a game like this is November. I can't think of any big games in November.
This is my marketing brain, though, right? It's like you got to push this to 2024. You got to do a better job at marketing this game, and also you got to fix it. You got to market it better. We got to know what it is. We got to know that it works, and also you are never competing with the amount of titles that are coming out in September and October. And just think of it from a perspective of like, we talk about this all the time. Games are expensive. For some people it's not a thing. You can just buy whatever game you want, and it's not a huge deal. But for a lot of people, they have to kind of pick and choose, because $70 for a game is a lot of money. And there's gonna be a ton of people that are during the holiday season just playing catch up on all the stuff that they wanted in September and October, but they couldn't buy it all at once when it released. So like, I don't know about this game, dude. They gotta do some weird stuff.
They gotta fix some things. They gotta fix a lot. They gotta promote it much better.
Yeah.
I think this game has potential, but not in its current state of lack of knowledge, the uncompleteness that it feels of the game, and just overall, I think it could be a cool game. You know what I mean? And I think the roguelike is an upcoming genre of game, and so I think that's fine, but I just don't think they're where they should be in terms of a 2023 release, and I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you really want to get everybody on board, number one, you got to fix the gameplay mechanics and give us a good trailer, because I'm not even like an expert on this stuff. I mean, there's people much more qualified to kind of dissect a trailer and look at gameplay mechanics. But if I'm noticing that the hitboxes are off, I mean, I can only imagine what like experts are noticing in this gameplay trailer that we're kind of missing. Also, your story just like the way that you present your story, it makes zero sense to I would say to most people it makes zero sense. So you need to give us like a story trailer that explains what's happening in this game to get people excited about it. Yeah, I did.
And the developer is Tainer Games, or is that the producer? And then who's the developer? Is it Gamer Games? Like, what else have they? Do you know of anything else they've made?
Awakener Ryzen.
Gamer Games. Let's see. What have they made?
Here's
publisher. Here we go. Publisher is Gamer Games. They have made nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. Like, I mean, they have, but like, have you ever heard of Iconolists?
Nope.
Firework?
Nope.
Kepler Earth?
Nope.
Volcano Princess?
Nope.
Yeah, so there's I don't think they're prepared for this big of I don't know if it's supposed to be a big game, but I don't think they're prepared to branch to a bigger audience yet.
Let's ask an easier question. Have you ever heard of Awakener Ryzen?
That is also true. No, I have not.
No, yeah. So I mean, like, I'm curious to know why this game even got a quote unquote sequel. I mean, it doesn't have to be a sequel or a prequel or anything like that, but
yeah,
in the terms of
how it got us.
Yeah, how did it get a second release? I don't even know. I didn't know what Awakener was until we decided let's talk about Awakener. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Yeah.
It's
like initial thoughts, I was like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I'm looking up Tainer Games, and the only thing that's popping up right now is the Awakener Forgotten Oath. So obviously, like, they haven't made much either.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be probably not going to play unless it's on super sale or the reviews are really good. So
yeah, I mean, guys, we're welcome to comments here. Obviously, if you have some knowledge that we don't know about, you know, like what makes this game good, or you know, like what the story it kind of is. Maybe we're kind of fudging some stuff up here and just not really understanding it correctly.
Clear it up for us.
Yeah, if you guys got any notes to drop down in the comments to let us know about this game, I am all ears, and I would love to learn more. But just off the first impressions here, it doesn't make a ton of sense for me, and I know it looks like a game that I would probably be into. And you know that gameplay mechanic wise, that's not false. But other than that, it's a
big old thumbs down right now. But we'll revisit it if it looks good later.
Yeah.
With that said, let's move on to a classic IP.
That is Robocop Rogue City.
Robocop Rogue City. Can I start it this time?
Please do it.
What the heck? I'm just going to start with what the heck is this game?
I was literally going to start the same way. Go ahead.
That's so funny. Okay, so this game is a first-person action shooter as Robocop.
Yes.
First question I had. How does this IP or like this franchise get a game that has not been talked about in years? When's the last time you ever heard Robocop?
1993 was the last Robocop movie released.
Okay, but when's the last time you specifically talked about Robocop?
1994, maybe.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's so funny. Like, this is a franchise that like nobody's talking about, but all of a sudden they're getting a huge, like, massive game. It's like, all right. I mean, I'm for it. Like, I'm kind of like interested in a game like this, but it's not a big franchise that people are talking about nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, that was my number one question. It's like, is RoboCop too old to be cool?
Yeah, is it relevant enough to even have a game?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Yeah. Now, for me, I'm an old man. We've been over this before. I'm an old man, so like I know RoboCop. I've
seen a lot of the RoboCops. I don't remember them probably as well as you do, but I've seen. How many are there? Are there 3?
There are 3 movies. Yeah, RoboCop.
I think I've seen at least 2, maybe the 3rd. Yeah. Could I tell you anything about them right now? No, but.
I'll probably catch some slack in the comments from the RoboCop fans. 1 was good, 2 was so-so, 3 was an absolute disaster. So
okay. So with that said, let's pull the trailer of this game. It takes place. This game is taking place between 1 and 2. So maybe they're like, you know what? 1 was so good. Like the people that created the game, like 1 was so great. let's put it right after that one and kind of go off that storyline. And they're like, let's forget about 2 and 3 for this game. And
That's
so
100% what I was thinking. Like I said, one is good, 2 is so, 3 is absolute garbage. So I'm thinking like maybe they were like, you know what, 1 was so good. Let's do a sequel that's like, let's do RoboCop 2, but do it as a game and do it better.
Yeah, right. And I think that's what they tried doing with this. So let's go and pull this trailer up. There's a lot of things to talk about this. This is probably, I have a lot more to talk about this than probably any of the games that we're talking about tonight. But let's roll the trailer.
Let's roll the trailer.
And this is the trailer. There is 16 minutes of gameplay on it too. So if you really want to see a deep dive, which I'll talk about some of that as well.
Yeah.
But takes place in Detroit, obviously, and
I love the nostalgia.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're going with this game. Yeah.
Like even the TVs, like the CRTVs, and like looking at the computers, and like this is definitely like 1990.
Yeah,
it's cool. I like that.
Right.
And the character model looks great.
Oh yeah, I agree. It looks very similar to what the 90s franchise is.
Yeah. Drop it, scum.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys,
it's
if you're
so
just watching,
funny.
if you're just listening on the Spotify, we're getting a pretty accurate representation of a RoboCop movie right now. Complete with cheesy one-liners, just insane action, as you would expect.
And they have his classic pistol. What's the name of the pistol?
The Auto 9.
Yeah, the Auto 9.
Yeah,
And so we'll talk about that a little bit more, but. And I would say they're staying very authentic to what RoboCop is, minus a couple of things that we're going to talk about. So, but overall, the trailer looks, like you said, very nostalgic. You get a sense that you're playing as RoboCop in a game, and also coming soon. So,
yeah, I mean, I think they did a great job. Just kind of making sure that everything was period-esque. I'm kind of a weirdo, and I love doing this. I kind of like looking for things that are out of place. I did this a lot on Stranger Things, where I was like trying to find like something that they left in the background by mistake that was like not of that time period, and I'm like looking around and couldn't find anything. Even like the phone on the wall was like, oh my god, we had that phone in my kitchen. Like it was so
right.
It was so crazy.
You see? So in what one was it? Did you see? In The Last of Us, the game or the movie or the TV show, one of the scenes, the TV show, one of the episodes, Last of Us. Did you see that the mistake they made? You could see the camera crew in one of the scenes.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the back left of the background. You could see the camera crew, the tents, and everything.
No.
And it made it to the production. But anyway, I digress. But
that's a whoopsie.
Yeah. And so what this game is essentially you're playing as RoboCop, and it's a first-person shooter, like we already said.
Yep.
If you're expecting to move fast in this game, don't play it. You're going to play very tanky, bullet sponge, and, I mean, that's RoboCop. And the way you kind of survive as you play is you get to pick up battery packs, and that's your life. The more you pick up, you keep using those to stay alive.
Yep.
And one thing, so you have your pistol, your Auto 9, but you can use other weapons. But from what I watched and what interviews I've seen, you almost don't need anything else except for your Auto 9.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you can use these other weapons, but it's almost pointless because you are a beast with this. Like you're almost like a boss playing NPCs, and I think that's pretty cool. The game will have some puzzle and crime solving elements which weren't really described or shown in the gameplay showcase. I think the destruction physics of the game are also really cool. So things blow up, things fall, rocks are breaking, really cool. Yeah, and like I said, you'll be able to use the environments to kill people, so you can shoot off the wall, the bullets ricochet, all that stuff. Very nostalgic of RoboCop, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head here. I have actually a lot of the same notes here. It feels slow. So the thing, the people that played it said it feels slow. It feels like a bullet sponge, but honestly, that's what RoboCop is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're looking for like a tactical shooter where you're looking for cover,
Yeah.
and you're trying to snipe around a corner and stuff like that. That's not RoboCop. I mean, RoboCop
No.
was a cheap like 80s action movie where RoboCop would just bust through the door and be like, "Oh, I am RoboCop." Bah, 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 bah.
Bah, 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 bah. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
all the bad guys would be like just like shooting him, and the bullets are just bouncing off, and he's like, "Get on the ground, scum!" Like it's
Yeah.
like exactly what you want in a cheesy 80s movie. So I feel like that's fine. And
Right.
yeah, they give you different options, but like
Yeah.
you like I understand where people would be like a little bit upset about, like maybe the Auto 9's a little OP, but also if you're playing a RoboCop game and like you're true to the nostalgia, why would you want to use a different weapon?
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? If you like playing as
agree.
Donatello and being like, I don't want to use the bow staff, like I want to use something else. You're like, why? Why would you want to do that? It makes no sense. So
I agree. I want to use an M16 as Donatello.
yeah, right. It's just like I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like that's why I picked
Right.
Donatello because I like purple and I like his personality and I like the bow staff. Like it's cool.
Exactly, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm okay
And
with that.
one thing that I was kind of like questioning, so RoboCop, like he's like straight force, right? And things
Yeah.
like that. Like he doesn't go in there. He doesn't do the detective side of things, right? Typically. Like I said, I haven't seen him in a while.
He does do the detective side of things.
Okay, so my next point was going to be kind of pointless then. So I won't even make this next point.
Yeah.
But kind of going off of that, so you have to like be a detective, solve puzzles, and there's choices that you make that, like, let's say you let somebody go, or you arrest them. Like those choices will affect the end game of like the ends. Yeah, it'll affect the end game essentially. So
yeah.
that's kind of cool. I like those games that do that. And it's like it gives it that replay value of like, oh, what if I would have picked a different? And what if I would have let this guy go? Would it have changed certain aspects of the game? And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool too. And I think like having those options as a player is kind of cool. I hate like when you're playing a game and then they give you all of these options and like you're really kind of thinking about it and you're really kind of thinking about like what would you do if you're in that situation? Like would you let them go? Would you take them in? Like, all of this stuff, and then you find out like online that you're like, oh, none of my choices really mattered. You know what I mean? Like I hate that so much, and you're just like, well, that was kind of dumb.
I agree. And it stinks. So as much as I think that's really cool, I am the worst about making decisions like that. I'm very indecisive. And then when I do make a decision like that, I'm like, wait, why did I do that? I want to go back. Turn off the PlayStation, turn everything off. Hopefully it didn't save. I want to go back. And so that's why like that's such a cool concept, but for me as an indecisive person and very impulsive, it's really hard. But it's still a cool concept. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a cool concept, and it gets you invested in the game. Like, would you rather have a game of choices where, like, maybe you've made the wrong choice and, like, that has affected your gameplay? Or would you rather play a game where you make a bunch of choices and then you find out at the end that none of them really mattered?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's how I've been playing Cyberpunk. I'm like, does it really matter when I've been playing? Like, I've been playing that quite a bit, and I'm like, okay, do I pick this choice or this choice? Okay, I don't care, and then I skip through, like, because I'm like, I don't think a game of that size really matters in the end. I haven't beat it. I'm still playing it, so let me know if I'm completely wrong and it does actually make a huge impact on the game, and I'm just like, oops.
I feel like Cyberpunk, not to stray too far away, but I do feel like some of the choices that you make from what I've seen do affect the gameplay, but not many.
Okay, so then I'm not worried about it because I'm sure I'll get to the end result anyway.
But I really like that. And, like you said, RoboCop does do detective work. I mean, it's a lot like, he's got the scanner and stuff, so he can scan the series, the scene for evidence and stuff like that.
Right.
They didn't really showcase any of the detective work in anything that I saw, which is a little bit disappointing because, I would be kind of curious to know what that is. But it is part of the game. Also, like you said, the puzzle aspect is part of the game. So if you're looking for like puzzles and stuff like that, not just nonstop action that is in the game as well. They describe the puzzles as like maybe defusing bombs or something like that, kind of like mini game style stuff. And I like the puzzles. I like that. I like that stuff. It's like a break in the like explosive blow up everything, shoot guns firing everything,
right,
blowing up
down
in your
a little
face.
bit, and it gives it another element to make it worth playing because like you get like essentially you could going back to roguelikes, you could have made this game a roguelike. You know what I mean?
You
like
could have, yeah.
Just go straight through, try to blow up as far as you can, and then go back. But no, it's making it that RPG element where it gives you some substance to really think about what's going on in the environment, to focus on the story a little bit. I think it works for RoboCop, and I think it's gonna be a fun game to play.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun, and they've hinted at some very cool things that you can do. They do have a breach mechanic that they talked about, which I love that idea. You know, to just put anything in slow motion, and I'm such a like, oh my god, so cool, like
120 frames per second. Yeah. Here we go.
Put anything in 120 B-roll style, and I'm just like, I'm in love.
Yeah,
but it's a breach mechanic.
It's Dave taking a poop, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna have my poop in slow motion in the toilet. Oh, I love it.
Put anything in 120 FPS, and I'm just like, amazing.
We're still recording our podcast in 120 frames per second.
Welcome to the Stock Nerdy.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool. You know, the breach mechanic, basically what's going to happen is like you can, as RoboCop, you can kind of scan through the wall and get a layout, a lot like Arkham style. You can get a layout of where all the enemies are. Use this breach mechanic where you bust through the wall. It turns into slow motion. And then and then just, lock it in, headshots all around. So I like that stuff. That's cool. Yeah. And it's gonna give you everything that you want, I think, out of like this cheesy kind of 80s style action genre. And that's I mean, I know the last RoboCop movie came out in 93, but the first one came out in 88. I believe
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. 87 or 88. So it lines up with that cheesy 80s action movie kind of stuff. And I think they've represented that well in the game. I mean, just like the cheesy, just like the 80s style movies, there's cheesy one-liners. The destruction mechanics are crazy. Like literally everything explodes. Like anything that you see on screen explodes. You can do like really kind of silly things too, where like this is gonna be kind of hard to explain, but the one example that they gave is like you can pick up a trash can and like throw it at a guy.
It across the room.
Yeah, you can like throw it across the room at a guy on a motorcycle and knock him off, and it's like that. Like as an 80s movie fan, that's just such a scene that I can see play out so easily in the movie where RoboCop's like, one of the guys is trying to get away on a motorcycle, and RoboCop just takes a trash can and like throws it, and then looks back and is like, "Time to take out the trash," or, like something like that. Yeah, something stupid like that. So I do think they're gonna give you everything that you want in this game. So I'm actually kind of excited for this one.
And I think I'm gonna get it. I think it's definitely gonna be one that I will play, as long as it's not October.
As long as it's not October.
There's too many games in October right now.
Yeah, there's way too many games. I do believe that this one is actually coming out in September, though.
Okay,
so a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
a little bit sooner. So
we will get this game, whether it's I play it right away or later. But this is a game I am interested in playing, and I am excited to play it. Just because. Is it the most perfect game? No. But it's a game for nostalgia. It's a game for playing as RoboCop and just blasting your way through cop scenes and a story and all that stuff. And it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. RoboCop, the Rogue City, drops September. Very, very soon. If you guys like RoboCop, you like cheesy 80s movies.
Like 4 days.
Yeah, pop over, check out Rogue City, see if it's something that you might be into.
Now, with that said, Dave, if you could make any game from an action movie of the 1970s to the late 1990s, because I have a couple in the 90s here.
Okay, that's fine.
So let's make this into a draft.
Let's make it into a draft.
Yeah, classic action movie draft to be turned into a video game.
I've been so excited for this. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I've been excited for this the whole week.
We're gonna set some ground rules though. Let's say you can take a series. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like we're not like, for example, I'm just gonna throw one out there. I'm not saying this is on my list, but like, Bad Boys. Like if you take Bad Boys, you're taking Bad Boys 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Once a franchise is gone, the franchise is gone.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's
Jay, no, you flip. I already got the last one. It's your turn. You're
Really?
going first. Yep,
You're-
pick number 1 pick overall.
You're just gonna give me number 1 pick overall?
Yep.
Let's go. Okay,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, with the first overall pick, I feel like there is only one way to go, and I do know that there was a game already created for this movie, but it was not a next gen title. It wasn't even close to a next gen title. We're talking NES era and arcade era. Give me some Die Hard. Little Bruce Willis, let's go.
Wow, that's not where I thought you were gonna go with this.
Really?
Okay, so my first overall pick, or my number 1 draft pick of the action movie draft, is also been made into a game, and it was one of the first person shooter games out there. Give me a little 007.
Oh, dude, how did I not take 007?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
I may have won the draft with that pick right there.
Wait, let's restart the draft. Guys, we're restarting
Nope,
the draft. Dang, how did I not get that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got some work to do. Okay. With my second pick, I know this also has already been a game, but in the same boat as Die Hard. We're talking NES era, arcade era. It needs a revamp. It needs some love. Give me the Terminator.
Okay.
I'm looking for John Connor.
I think I have to throw this in there just because I don't want you to take it. As my second pick, I am picking Top Gun. Yeah, I knew it. I knew that was going to be on your list. So I had to make sure to put him at 2 because I don't think you're taking my other one. So
I was so excited for this draft the whole week.
Yeah,
you
and
know
I'm
I was
ruining it for you.
excited for this
Yeah.
draft, and now
Yeah.
it's just being ruined. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, with the third overall pick, we're gonna go back. I know this also was a game already. This was PlayStation 2 era, but it's time for a refresh. And I'm gonna go with the Warriors. Little Warriors come out to play.
My dad, that's what it's from.
Yeah, that's what that's from.
My dad would tell me that growing up. He's like, Adam, come out and play. I'm like, what are you?
That's from the
what it's from. I've never
Warriors.
seen it. I've never seen that. When did that come out? Like 1980?
No, 70s. That's yeah, like 77. I think the Warriors.
I'll have to watch
came
it.
out.
That's probably a movie I should watch. Okay,
You should
like I
definitely
said,
watch it.
This is a movie I knew that you probably wouldn't take, but give me a little bit of Nick Cage. This is my third pick. Third pick overall. Give me some Nick Cage in The Rock.
Let's go. That's a sick movie.
Yeah, right. One of my
that's good.
favorite like classic action movies.
That's so good. Oh, what's the line when he's like defusing the bomb in the
I don't remember, man.
dude, the scene, they're in the office and they're in the tent and he's like defusing the bomb with that one. It's such a good movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I also love the end scene, the quintessential Michael Bay slow motion. I'm gonna rip the smoke and run down the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so sick.
That
Okay.
was such a good one.
This is a great draft. I love everything about this
Yeah,
draft.
right?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with my next pick, I'm going back to the Arnold well. My fourth overall pick, and I know this is a game. Kind of. This character. This character has been in a lot of games, but never really got a game. Give me some Predator.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was going to be a choice of mine.
I love me some Predator, dude. Such a great franchise. My dad loves that movie, and we used to watch it all the time. I have such love for the Predator. That needs like its own storyline.
My fourth pick. I'm going cheesy for this next one.
Okay.
Give me some Jackie Chan Rush Hour.
Rush Hour?
Rush Hour.
Let's
Just
go.
imagine that as a game, you know? Just cheesy the whole time. Like, oh, that was such a I love that movie. That's like one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid.
Okay, all right.
Is it going to be really well deserved? Probably not, but I was, throwing nostalgia in there.
I mean, if I was gonna go Jackie Chan, I'd probably go Rumble in the Bronx. But I mean, Rush Hour, that's a great game. That would make a great game. Chris Tucker would
Yeah.
make that game. He would make
Yeah,
that game
exactly.
great. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like that choice.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my very last pick, and this is super hard because I have two on my list, and I have to pick one, and I don't really want to, but I'm going to go with Point Break. I love Point Break.
Okay.
A little
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, a little Patrick Swayze, the Keanu Reeves quintessential, no! Shooting into the, like, dude,
Yeah.
Could you imagine playing the scene in Point Break where you're up in, have you ever seen Point Break? Oh, dude, you gotta see it.
Dude, I'm slacking.
You
I'm
gotta
slacking on
see
some
it.
of these classic
Okay,
movies.
There's a scene in Point Break where I don't want to ruin it for you, but I feel like this movie came out in the 80s, so I'm gonna ruin it for you. I feel like you should have seen it by now. But spoiler alert, Patrick Swayze is the bad guy. And there's a point where they are in a plane, and basically what happens is Patrick Swayze knocks out the pilot. He takes the one and only parachute and jumps out of the plane, and Keanu Reeves, being the absolute boss that he is, gets up from being knocked out, opens the door, sees that Patrick Swayze has jumped, and he jumps out of that plane with no parachute and just skyrockets down to catch Patrick Swayze before he opens up the parachute. It's so crazy. And could you imagine that as a level in a video game?
That sound, you know what it sounds like? Almost like a Call of Duty scene. Keanu Reeves in Call of Duty.
All right, everybody, have a great night. It's been fun.
I'm sorry, but it just sounds like that. I'm just kidding. All right, my fifth pick. I'm kind of cheating here, to be honest.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna pick it, but I think it's a well-deserved pick. It's on the border of teetering with the 2000s. So my fifth pick is Independence Day. Will Smith.
Yeah, let's go.
It's a little cheating. It's cheating a little bit, but
I'm gonna allow it. You know what? I know Will Smith has been through some shit, and I don't want to talk bad about Will Smith right now. He's obviously got some things going on. But if you just don't think of him as a person and you just like look at his body of work, he does make great movies, and Independence Day is a sick movie. And I think, like, dude, being able to fly around, especially the scene where oh my God, what I forgot his name. From Jurassic Park.
Don't ask me.
Oh my God.
Oh man, why did you do this? Now
yeah,
we're gonna be
glasses.
I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep until I look it up later.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna think about this all night.
Let's see here. I'll do an Independence Day cast.
Yeah.
Look up Independence.
I'm sorry, guys. We have to do it. I won't be able to sleep tonight if we don't do this.
Cast. Oh, nope. Better spell cast right. Okay. Independence Day cast. Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Jesus.
Wow.
Okay.
Why can we not figure that name? That's so bad.
That's terrible.
We're terrible podcast hosts. I'm sorry, everybody, but Jeff Goldblum.
Everybody's gonna be like, these guys don't know who Jeff Goldblum is. They're not nerdy at all. This is a sham. Okay, but yeah, especially the scene where they're like they've loaded up the virus into the alien spaceship, and you have to do that crazy drive it. You flying through, and you gotta
at the end.
Yeah, you gotta tilt sideways to get through the. Oh, dude, that would make an amazing game.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think it wasn't a game. I think it's a PlayStation game.
It was a PlayStation game, but a lot like the Warriors. Like the Warriors was a PlayStation game. Guys, these are if they made these games today on next gen consoles and really gave them the love I think that we think they deserve.
Yeah,
these were great lists.
Some couple of shout outs that I have. I think I did have Bad Boys on my list. If you took any of my, I thought that would be kind of a cool cop game.
Yep.
I also put the Sniper series.
And
there's a bunch of those.
Yeah,
a bunch. And then also, I think they may have made a game of this too, but Men in Black.
I think there's a Men in Black game.
I feel Men in Black.
PlayStation 2 game.
It is.
Yeah, PlayStation 2.
No, it's a Game Boy Advance game.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. That's funny. What? A Men in Black game is coming to PS5. That's what it said. 2021 though, so I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I feel like they might have missed. I feel like they might have missed that window. Yeah,
but that was a good draft, man.
Yeah, that was a good draft.
I think I may have may have taken it away with 007 and Top Gun.
Guys, let us know down below who won. Let
Yeah.
us know who won the draft. Also,
Yeah.
real quick shout outs. We gotta put Rambo First Blood on this list. Rambo would be a
Yeah, I was
sick
gonna
game.
say Rambo should have been on the list too.
Yeah.
I had it in my list here, but
Yeah, and Face Off. I also love me some Nicolas Cage. A little Face Off with John Travolta. A little Castor Troy with the gold PP7, like the gold the 45s. Those would be sick to rock those. And this one's from my brother Pete. If you're watching, I threw a little Last Action Hero on there for us because
I think we could also throw in like Indiana Jones. There's so many we could have thrown into the list, but
so many.
That's what we drafted for tonight.
Yeah, good list, man. Good list. Okay,
good list.
Moving on to the next game. This game is weird.
Yeah,
let's just throw
Hauntii.
Let's throw the trailer up there, guys. We are talking about Hauntii. And
it's an indie game, so it's a smaller game, but it
title,
looks interesting. So let's pull it up. Oh, I already did. Oops, there we go.
So, if you guys are, again on the Spotify, I'm having a hard time describing what we're looking at.
Yeah.
This looks like a. Would you describe it as like an illustration of like in a book coming to life kind of feel?
I think that's a good way to put it. It's very silhouetted. It's almost like. Yeah, I think I agree. It's kind of like you're writing a book and you're drawing a bunch. They're like doodles.
Yeah, they're
it's
like doodles
brought to life.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually. But the art style looks pretty good to me. I'm not gonna lie, and you know that I love this like spooky, ghosty stuff. So like,
right. And I thought this would be like right up your alley. Yeah. It looks interesting, and there's kind of a lot to unpack with this game, even though it is a like an indie game. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it does look really fun. So I mean, we're seeing a lot of text boxes and stuff on here, so it feels like a more kind of laid back kind of genre. And the art style kind of gives it like a very, I would say that it's a haunting kind of spooky aesthetic, but not like a scary like jump scare kind of Outlast kind of thing. So if you guys didn't get to see the trailer, it's not going to be like think of it more like a Nightmare Before Christmas or like something like that. Like it has that like spooky eerie vibe, but it's not scary. I know
what it kind of reminds me of. It's not similar in terms of like gameplay mechanics, but Little Nightmares, a little bit kind of like that. It's almost hard to even say that because there's a lot more illustration in Little Nightmares, but just like the tone of the game, I think. You know what I mean?
Take Little Nightmares and make it 2D illustration and take away the jump scariness of the game. And I think that's probably a pretty close kind of representation.
It's a little hard. It's almost still not perfect, to be honest.
Yeah. So, guys, it is a really, really hard game to kind of to put in a box, but it does look very, very interesting. And again, it's small studio. What we do know about this game is that it's a tour through the afterlife, which I think just that idea alone is pretty cool. The developer has come out and said that it is kind of a relaxing gameplay, a lot like Journey or something like that. I don't know if you played Journey on the PS5 or on the PlayStation, which was very cool. I don't know if you might have remember me playing that game. Remember that game? I was just kind of like floating through the sand, like kind of just going through it was just like very, very chill. So if you guys if you guys know anything about Journey or Flower or anything like that and you like that stuff, this should be the same kind of thing. And basically what you're going to do is you are able to possess characters and pieces of the environment within the game. And that is going to help you kind of solve the puzzles or do like the minor combat that you need to do to progress to the next area.
Yeah, and so the game is they describe it as a twin stick shooter.
Yep. Yeah, I have that
so
too.
You'll be able to use...
I love twin stick shooters.
Yeah. Is that game you've been playing, Hollow Knight? Is that a twin stick shooter?
Hollow Knight is not a twin stick shooter.
That? What's Cuphead?
Cuphead is not a twin stick shooter.
Okay. You see why I think that though? Like the way you like Do you shoot with your sticks?
It very well could be a twin stick shooter though. Like if you were to think of twin stick shooter style, Cuphead would fit that mold amazingly. Just for whatever reason, they decided to make it a button and not the second stick. But that's a very good example. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so the game is supposed, like Dave said, it's a story of the ghosts in the afterlife, and you collect stars to gain access to previous, like, memories of your previous life. I think what drew me to this game was that art style, though. Like,
Yeah.
I think it looks cool in terms of, like, it's different. Not many games are like this, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very, very different. It's funny that you mentioned Hollow Knight because there are some aspects of the game that kind of pulls me to a Hollow Knight kind of situation. So if you look in the gameplay trailer, a lot of the fight mechanics, we also saw the classic Hollow Knight dash, which is it's pretty quintessential of Hollow Knight now. Is it going to be Hollow Knight-esque? I don't think so. But if you're looking for more of a relaxing journey, that's probably the best because Hollow Knight is not a relaxing journey. Hollow Knight has made me want to break so many controllers I can't even count. That's funny. If you're looking for something a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more spooky, with a nice eerie vibe, this is definitely something to put on the list.
And one of the things that the developers and just the members that are making the game, they pride themselves on the peaceful and chill experience that the game is supposed to provide, especially with the soundtrack. So that's the vibe that they're trying to go for. They're not trying to make you like really like mentally have to think about the game. They just want you to have a good time playing the game, and I think that's awesome. And so I don't have much else to say on it aside from I like the way it looks, and that's about it.
I'm super excited for this game, to be honest. And honestly, I really love Journey. I don't know if you remember me playing another game, Abzu. That was the one.
I think I do remember Abzu. I think I remember that one a little bit more than Journey, to be honest.
The underwater exploration game.
I think so, yeah.
Not a very long experience, not a very challenging experience, but it's not meant to be that. It's just meant to be something like casual, fun, and relaxing. And if you're looking for a game where it's just like you need to just kind of chill out, you just want to chill out and just play a cool game and not go crazy, and just see some really cool stuff like that Abzu game. I just loved exploring. It was underwater and you were just swimming as a diver, and I was like seeing all these cool fish, and then there's like a shark and a whale and like all this cool stuff. So if you like those chill type of games, this could be definitely one for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll be checking it out. So when this drops, look for some more words on this. But yeah, if you guys like that style of game, the Journeys, the Abzus, and you also like some creepy stuff, check this one out.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Adam's just so ready to get to the next topic.
I'm ready. I'm
not even funny.
I love these. So this is the only movie we're talking about tonight, and that is Good Burger 2. All right, before we start, Dave, let's hear your Ed impression of what you... have you seen these movies? You've seen it. You can't tell me you haven't seen it.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
That's all right. I feel like I have to do too.
Did you go ahead and do it?
Ah, shoot. Ah, crap.
No, duh.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
You made it sound like an old woman that smokes too much.
Did. What it sounded like? The more, like, as I heard myself saying it, do you know from Monsters, Inc., the always watching you, Mike Wazowski.
Or like, welcome to Good Burger. This is Marge. What can I get for you?
Yeah. Dang it, I screwed that up. I liked yours better than mine. But with that said, I love Good Burger. That is one of my favorite all-time movies in terms of like just pure stupidity. Growing up, watching this movie over and over. This is up there for me, man, and I can tell that you're not as excited as I am for such a movie.
Okay. Here's my number one question. Is it too late?
I don't know. I'm excited for it. Is it too late for me? No. But is it too late for other people? Maybe.
I don't want you to get hurt the way that I have been hurt in the past. Do you
I
know?
can see that.
Do you know the things that I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about right now?
Let's hear it.
Do you remember when the announcement that Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey were getting back together to do Dumb and Dumber?
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. And you were not too happy with that one.
Was the movie bad? No. Do I wish that they, and now that it's all said and done, do I wish that they kind of just left it alone? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they almost, okay, and I don't want to turn this into a Dumb and Dumber conversation, but
right.
They almost took the things that I loved about the first movie and they rehashed them again. And by doing that, it made the first movie not as good to me. You know what I mean? You're watching, You're watching this revamped version and it's like, oh, they recycled that joke from the first one. Right. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good in the second movie. And then you go back and watch the first movie again, which you loved. And that part where that joke came from, you loved that part. But because they've rehashed it in number 2 and made it awful, it kind of like took away from what it did in number 1. You know what I mean?
Dang it. So now, don't put that evil on me.
That's what it is. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying.
I can see what you're saying. Is this movie going to be okay? Well, the first thing I want to say, obviously, like, I know you love Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
Not the best movie out there. You know what I mean? It was a dumb movie, like essentially in the name, right?
Yep.
Good Burger's the same situation, and I think you're kind of leading to that. Like, I think you're kind of correct. I hope they don't rehash some of the same situation with the other one. But hey, let's throw the trailer up. We'll keep kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
So right at the beginning, you see Ed driving this burger fry mobile, runs into Dex, and just straight stupid, he lands into the car. And like, they're such a good group. Like, they do well together as actors, you know what I mean? And you see, like, if you're just listening, Good Burger is, there's a new cast of new, like Good Burger employees, and yeah, and Ed has a son. I don't know if you saw that, but that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
So how did you, here's a great example. How did you feel about that scene in the trailer where they said, you know, obviously, what did we say when we came on here? Well, you know, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can we take your order?
Yeah.
We know that. We love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's nostalgia for us. How did you feel when you heard it in this new trailer?
I was excited.
You were excited?
Yeah, because I'm like, yes, there it is. Like, I hope that they're not going, I think it's going to be one of those things. They hear it once. If you hear it once, okay. But if you hear it throughout the whole movie, not okay. I don't know. I love that kind of situation, though. I love nostalgia and just hearing things in a new way. I think it's got potential to be, I think that's the thing. It has potential to be good. Is it going to be as good as the first one? No, I don't know.
But they're already changing it. Like, why is everybody saying it? Why isn't Ed just saying it?
Because I think Ed is the one in charge now. And so he's the manager, and he's like, listen, this is, I don't know, or diving into it too much, but here's what the description on IMDb says. Dexter Reed, this is what the movie is supposed to be about. There's not much else on it. Dexter Reed is down on his luck. Dexter Reed is down on his luck after another one of his inventions fails. Ed welcomes Dex back to Good Burger with open arms and gives him his old job back. With a new crew working at Good Burger, Dex devises a plan to get him back on his feet, but unfortunately puts the fate of Good Burger at risk once again.
I mean, it's like reading the context, and I hate to go back to it, but it's like reading the context of Dumb and Dumber. Like, Lloyd Christmas takes a lady to an airport and then travels to Aspen with his best buddy to deliver the package back and be a knight in shining armor. Like, it doesn't matter because these movies are so stupid that the plot doesn't really matter. I think
that's true.
What I don't want them to do is what they did with Dumb and Dumber for me, and ruin the nostalgia of the first movie, because
Okay.
that's the only thing that I'm afraid of. And I see a little bit of it in the trailer. You can see that Keenan's already acting a little different. I feel like Keenan is already acting a little different. Like, this might be a situation where like Keenan's tried to grow up a little. Like, the plot of this movie, to me, the way that it plays out is like Keenan's character has kind of grown up a little bit and moved on from Good Burger and like tried to get more into like I'm not so dumb kind of, lifestyle. And then like now he's gonna come back to Good Burger, and like, Ed's still gonna be Ed, which is fine, but I just feel like Keenan's character has already
He doesn't have the dynamic as the original one.
Yeah. He's already his vibe has already changed. Now, like, if you go back to, Good Burger, Keenan was always the quote unquote smarter one. You know what I mean? Like, he was always telling Cal, like, you're messing up, or like, what do you but like the vibe just feels off now. Doesn't it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you might be reading into it too much, or maybe he's like, maybe they wanted to portray it that way, as in like, so part of the plot is like, oh, like Dex is like, you know what, I miss this, and I'm gonna go back to the way things were. I don't know. I think we might be reading into it too much. I just want to be excited about Good Burger.
Glass half full, glass half empty.
Dave's the glass half empty guy. Glass full. That's me.
I mean, I hope it's good for you, man. I do. Especially because like, Good Burger, I do have a lot of nostalgia with Good Burger. Now, I'm actually kind of old enough where like Good Burger is a little bit after my time, but it was right around that time where like my brother was really into, like Nickelodeon and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so like
all that.
Yeah, and like even though it was like a little bit after my time, it still wasn't so far that like, I would watch it with him, and we would just have like a good time hanging out. So like, I have that nostalgia factor too. So I hope this movie's good. It's streaming, so it's not like you're gonna have to buy it, or you're gonna have to go to the movie theater.
It will be on Paramount Plus this fall.
Yeah, so hopefully it's okay. Hopefully they don't Dumb and Dumber to you like they did. I think
I'm gonna survive. I'll survive it, even if they did. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully it's coming out this fall. But Dave, I have a game for you.
Oh no.
About cheeseburgers.
About cheeseburgers?
Yes.
Oh no.
So I have 10 restaurants here.
Oh.
And I want you to tell me on a scale, or 10 of them. I want you to tell me where you think they rank, and I will give you where they actually stand once you get all 10.
You just want me to get roasted in the comments, just dogging on everybody's favorite burger place?
So this is off of foodbeast.com. This is their ranking. They did a poll, but also gave their opinion. So this is off of theirs. So how true is it? I don't know. I was trying to find numbers on like the most cheeseburgers bought, and we already know who that is.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of, I didn't go that way. So this is opinionated, but also has some substance in terms of polling. So starting it off.
Hashtag guys, did we get some comments section has been a little bit lacking, and Adam just wants me to get roasted. Okay, go ahead. Let's start it off.
All right. The Baconator.
Dude, I'm the worst person to do this. I really am.
From Wendy's, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm the worst person to do this. I hate fast food. I really do.
Well, then this makes it even better.
What did you put on the list, though, is the question.
No. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Baconator.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's probably got to be a 4.
A 4.
Yeah, I'll put it 4th on the list, because I feel like when it comes to fast food, Wendy's is like a little bit more of the top tier.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at a 4. Baconator's a 4.
Okay. The Sourdough Jack from Jack in the Box.
Ooh.
I've never had it.
I have had it. I'm not a sourdough guy though. I'm gonna put it at a 5, and I'm gonna put it at a 5 because I think it's decent, but the problem is Jack in the Box isn't everywhere, so I feel like they probably rated it a little bit lower than it probably should be.
Okay. Next one is the Shack Burger from Shake Shack. Shack Burger from Shake Shack. It's a hard one to say.
Ooh. Yeesh. I'm gonna go with a 6 here. We're going with a 6. The burger actually isn't that great, but you pair it with a milkshake and anything gets a little bit better.
All right. The Big Mac from McDonald's.
Ugh. Where do I rank it, or where did everybody else rank it?
Where did everybody else rank it?
Everybody else ranked it. God dang it. Everybody else ranked it a 3, but it's a 10. It's a 10.
Okay.
McDonald's is dog food.
The double at In-N-Out. Never had that either.
I have had an In-N-Out burger. Ooh. I'm going 7.
7. Okay.
I'm going 7.
The Western Bacon Cheeseburger from Carl Jr.'s. When's the last time you've been to a Hardee's?
I actually, when it comes to fast food, I don't mind that one. I'm putting it
Really?
at a,
Okay.
I'm putting it at a 2. I'm putting it at a 2.
Okay. All right.
What do I got
the
left?
bacon
8,
cheese.
9, and 1?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The bacon cheeseburger from Five Guys.
Shit. I screwed this list. Up. Oh, dude, I have to hope you gave me 2 crap burgers. I'm putting it at 1.
1. Okay.
Five Guys gets great ratings.
Okay. The next is the Double Del Cheeseburger from Del Taco.
Ugh.
Never had it.
Ugh, 9. Maybe I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't screw this list up.
The cheese slider from White Castle.
Ugh, yeah, I think I did all right. 7.
Oh, sorry, you already said 7.
8.
8. Okay. And then your number 10 is a double steak burger from Steak and Shake.
Oh wait, I had a 10 left.
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
Oh dang! Can I switch
Okay.
it?
What do you want to put?
I want to put
at
White.
10?
I want to put White Castle last, and
Okay.
I want to put the steak burger at 8.
Okay, we can do that. That's
Okay.
fair. All right, you ready to hear what the list actually is?
Let's go.
The number 1 rated cheeseburger from, according to Food Beast, is the Double Double from In-N-Out.
Really?
That is number 1. Yep.
Wow.
Number 2 is the Shack Burger. Sorry, you put the Double Double as a number 7.
Yep.
It is number 1. Number 2, you put as a 6 is the Shack Burger from Shake Shack. Okay.
I screwed this list real bad.
Yeah. The Western Bacon Cheeseburger is 3, and you put it at 2, so pretty close there.
Pretty close, yeah. Yeah, I like Carl's.
Number 4, you put the Baconator, and Wendy's is also 4 with the Baconator. So that one was right.
Okay. All right, let's go.
The Bacon Cheeseburger from Five Guys is number 5, and you put it at 1.
I love Five Guys. Maybe
It is good.
Maybe it's the hand cut fries. Maybe the hand cut Cajun fries. Just I kind of maybe I went a little overzealous. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Number 6 is the Sourdough Jack from Jack in the Box, and you put that at 5, so pretty close.
Pretty close.
Pretty
yeah.
close.
Okay.
All right. Number, did I say 6? 7 is the Double Steak Burger from Steak and Shake, and you put it at 8.
Okay.
So pretty fair.
Yeah.
Big Mac, you put it at number 3, but it's actually number 8.
I should have gone with my gut.
You should have.
I thought people love the big. How do they sell 8 billion hamburgers a year and people don't like the Big Mac?
I don't know. Your number 9 was the Double Del Cheeseburger from Del Taco, which is also number 9.
Yeah, that's trash.
And then number 10 is also number 10, and that's a cheese slider from White Castle.
White Castle is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're missing a couple on here. I think they're missing, like, it would be nice to have, what's the one I was just thinking of?
Where's the
I'm
Whopper,
blanking.
bro?
Yeah, the Whopper I think would probably be in that 8, 9, 10 range. But Whataburger, have you had Whataburger?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good.
That could be a good one on there.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Steak and Shake and whatnot. Freddy's is another really good one.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, so there's a lot. And isn't there another like out west restaurant aside from In-N-Out?
What's the one everybody talks about?
Something out there. But
Yeah,
anyway,
there's
I think you
something
did
out
pretty
there.
good.
I think I did pretty good. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
if I went with my gut and I put the Mickey D's double cheeseburger at a 10 where I thought it belonged, I probably would have been way, way better.
I agree.
Yeah,
But
that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
I did okay. Guys.
You did a great.
Let us know
did
down
great.
in the comments if you agree with that list. Not my list,
And
but
what
the,
your
the
favorite
list.
cheeseburger is.
And if you know that extra spot out west, let us know because I'm going to be thinking about that all night.
I agree. Great episode, man. Great
Good episode, dude. Good episode, dude. All right, my dudes. Guys, we love you guys very, very much. Thank you for everything. We're going to throw it out there, and it's going to happen this time, we promise. Next week, there will be no episode because we are doing the live. We are doing the live that we promised, and we promise it will be happening this next upcoming week, so stay on the lookout for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not going to give a specific day in the episode because we want to make sure we're on the same page because we kind of threw it in there out of random when we decided to do it last week.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm excited.
We will obviously be posting everywhere, all the YouTube community, all the socials. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Be on the
lookout.
We will be giving you some dates. My dudes, we love you guys very, very much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for just being you. We appreciate you, and this community is still growing like crazy. Basically 450 followers, subs on the YouTube right now, which is just absolutely insane. We love you guys very, very much. Thank you, Adam. What do you got for him?
If you're not following us on all social media, please make sure to do so. Let's Talk Nerdy Podcast, and make sure to check out our website. Let's Talk Nerdy Podcast.com, and we will. Oh wait, that's. Stealing Dave's line.
I know.
Oops.
Well, now I feel weird saying it. I'm gonna say it anyway.
No, say it.
I'm gonna say it
it.
anyway. Guys, we love you guys very, very much. Thank you for everything, and we will see y'all on the next one.
Peace out, nerds.